Hey, Lee with LG Speed and Custom here, and in this video we are taking the 32 back apart. So yeah, we're taking this car back apart. Why are we taking it back apart again? Well, it's really close to being roadworthy, but there's a few loose ends that we have to tie up. I've already taken care of a couple of them. One of the issues this car had, when I first built it, I wanted it low, obviously, but I made it a little bit too low. So we've raised it once already. We took the reverse eye spring out of the back and put the standard eye, just the main leaf, not the whole spring, but just the standard eye main leaf back in. And that brought it up a little bit, but as more of the car got assembled and it got heavier, it squatted a little bit more, and my tires were, I had like 1/8 of an inch clearance before the tires were gonna rub the fenders. So a couple weekends ago, I had a little bit of time. I just made a little spacer that went in between the spring and the cross member, lifted it back up, took care of that issue. Another loose end that I finished up off camera is the last little bit of the wiring. And I'm sorry if, I'm sure there was some of you guys that wanted to see the last little bit of the wiring, but all that was left was the horn. And I mounted the horn underneath the floorboard, ran it to the last toggle switch, hooked the wire up. It was really straightforward, but that allowed me to finish off the wiring. So all the wiring is done on this car now. Minus there's gonna be a couple of accessories still going in. Like we still gotta put the heater in, and I wanna put like a couple 12-volt power sources to run like a phone charger and stuff like that. But none of that's important now because we don't need any of that to make this car roadworthy, which is what my goal is for right now. So we're gonna take it back apart because we got to spray some epoxy on these fenders and the headlights, and yes, the grill shell, because I know it bothers so many of you guys that the grill shell is blue and the rest of the car is black. This blue is just like a color experiment that I want the car to eventually be blue one day, and I was just experimenting with this shade of blue. It's not the blue that I chose, but that's why the grill is currently blue. It's just a temporary thing. So we're going to take the grill off, strip the blue off. We're gonna scuff the headlights. These fenders are pretty much ready. They just need a quick little buzz down with the DA. This fender needs a little bit more. It was sandblasted at one time, and I think it got dripped on at some point in storage. So we gotta sand that down, and it's far from perfect. There's a split right here. It's got some dents in it, but I don't care about any of that right now. I just wanna get my car so that I can drive it and have fun with it. And we can like fiddle away, making it nice and straight later. Don't care about that right now. The fenders have the running boards. I got a plan for those. They don't have to be perfect because they're gonna get covered, but this one's got a little bit of an arch in it, so we're gonna probably take care of that at some point. So to start this video off, let's start blowing some fenders off. Let's blow it back apart. There we go. Last fender off on this side, one more fender on that side, and then the grill shell. A lot of people think that hot rods should be fenderless, but I don't know, man. I think this looks way better with fenders. Way better. Hey man, are you messing with my brake lines? Lux and I got all the fenders, running boards, and the grill off. It is now 7 days later. Not as nice. It's kind of a gloomy day. It rained all night. It's supposed to be nice this afternoon though. So we can start prepping this stuff for primer. I made a couple notes on here to once we pulled the fenders back off. This needs to be just clearanced a little bit for the motor mount biscuit sits there. So I'm just going to use this guy, clean that out a little bit. We had to do that up here for the grill as well. I think originally the grill sits on top of the fenders, and I have modified the fenders to go around the grill. And the reason for that is because then I can take the fenders on and off of the car without having to take the grill off. Because to take the grill off, you got to take the headlight bar off and the hood off, and that's a huge ordeal. Just by making this little modification, fenders, I just got to undo the headlight bar and the fenders will come right off. So I don't know if that's like cool amongst the 32 aficionados or whatever, but I did it. It's going to be fine. Once we got that little spot notched out, I'm just going to quickly buzz this fender down with some 80 grit. I buzzed it down once already, but it's been sitting for a while and it's got some surface rust on it. So we're just going to clean it up with 80 grit, and then it is ready for some epoxy. We're going to do the same thing with that fender. The rear fenders I got up on the shelf out of the way because I was working in here all week. So we'll dig those out, do the same thing with them, and then, yes, we're going to sand the blue, everybody's favorite shade of blue, off of this grill shell. One fender done. Got the other fender up on the stand here. Same thing. We gotta just notch this out a little bit for the motor mount biscuit and for the grill here. So these fenders are definitely far from perfect. You know, they're not bad, but there's no body work or anything done to them yet. There's still like little dings and imperfections here and there. But I don't care about any of that right now. Like I've mentioned several times throughout the build on this car, my goal at this point is just to get the car inspected and roadworthy so that I can start driving it. And then once it's on the road and I'm driving it and having fun, then we'll like pick away at all the imperfections in it, because it needs a lot of body work. But I don't want to spend 5 years working on a car before I can drive it. I would rather drive it while I work on it. 3 fenders are done. This rear fender it's in pretty tough shape, and it probably should be sandblasted again. There's some pretty heavy pits that I couldn't sand out. It's been sandblasted once already, but I think it sat outside for a while before I got it. So I'm not going to worry about sandblasting it right now. We'll cross that bridge when the day comes that I actually do the metal work and fix this fender properly. It's not too bad. This is the worst of it right here. A lot of it is just, it's got lots of dents in it. So this fender, I don't think it's original paint, but it's definitely really old paint. And I gotta be honest, I'm having a really hard time taking the sander to it. I wish the whole car looked like this. If the whole car looked like this, I wouldn't have done anything to the body. I would have just left it. So, what's your guys' opinion? Should I strip this fender and prime it, just like the other ones? Or do I leave it? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I really want to leave it, but it might also look weird just having one like old paint fender and nothing else old paint on the rest of the car. So while I figure out what I'm going to do with that, as long with asking you guys, I've asked a couple friends on their opinions as well. I'm going to jump onto the grill and start sanding it. Three fenders, the grill, and the headlights are all sanded. I'm not going to sand that fourth fender. I've decided to hold off until later. I'm going to set everything up now. And while I'm setting everything up, I'm going to let the epoxy sit on the paint shaker here and get all shook up. All right, we've got everything all set up in our all draft paint booth, and as per tradition, the wind has picked up. Let's go mix some epoxy up and spray. All right, so this is Summit Racing brand epoxy. It's the same stuff that we sprayed the body with, and I've never used it before. I've never sanded it. I don't know how good it is. It sprays really nice. It is a 1-to-1 ratio, so we're just gonna go over onto our mixing here and go up to, what do we got here? 9. Okay, well, we'll go to a 4.5 and then to our 9. All right. The only reason I got this stuff is when I wanted black primer for the car, my local paint and body supply shop could not get black. Can't remember why. Something to do with, there was the war in Ukraine. They were hoarding all the black paint for that. Then there was COVID and I don't know, all the excuses. But Summit Racing had it, and it was really cheap. All right, let's start with that. I don't know if that's enough to do 3 fenders, a grill, and 2 headlights, but we'll give it a try. First coat went great. Gonna mix up some more, do another coat. Going for coat number 3 now. Despite spraying in the wind, it's actually covering really nice. Okay, this went great. 10 out of 10. No issues at all. I have brought into the shop the little stuff that was like easy to manage, like the headlight buckets and the headlight buckets. That was it. This stuff, it's like 5:30 right now, and I want to go get some food. I don't want to leave this out, but I also don't want to bring it in because I very, very highly doubt that I can move all this stuff in without either dropping it or getting fingerprints in it. So I might just let it hang out here for a couple hours and then come back after I get some food and see if it's dry enough to the touch to bring in. All right, it's Monday evening now. These have been sitting since Saturday evening. And I'm gonna start bolting them back on the car. Mainly because trying to work on stuff in the shop. I've got fenders everywhere and I'm trying to work on customer stuff right now, so they're kind of in the way, which is why we're doing it now rather than on the weekend when I normally work on this car. Okay, I need a washer and a bolt. I got a bolt. You gonna give me a washer? Yeah. Thank you. There's supposed to be piping or fender welting that goes in between here, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because this black epoxy is all just temporary. It's all going to come back off again anyways, so we'll worry about the welting at that point. Yeah, oh no. Can I have that? Thank you. Okay, I need a washer. Cool, thank you. Both rear fenders are back on the car. With the rear fenders on, I'm gonna move on to getting the front fenders ready. So the rear fenders, I haven't done any metal work on. They're just sprayed in epoxy the way they were. Well, the one is, the other's still in the old paint. The front fenders, however, the metal work is done on them. They're ready for body work, essentially. The backside doesn't need any more. So what I'm gonna do before I put them on is I'm just gonna give it a little coat of this easy liner. This is basically just like bed liner. I only have maybe half a can, so I'm just gonna do one fender at a time in case I run out. Then I'll have to go to the store tomorrow and get more, but yeah, just gonna give it a nice even coat on the inside And that way there's just a little bit of protection from rocks and stuff like that. There was enough in there to do one fender, but definitely not enough to do the second fender. So I'll grab some more tomorrow, and tomorrow before dinner we'll hit the other fender. And the goal is by like the end of the week to have all the fenders back on. So it's Wednesday after work. I got another can today. I was hoping to get 3 more cans, but the auto body supply shop only had 1 can in stock, which was kind of a bummer. They said they have no idea when they're gonna get more. So, I don't know, we'll just see how far this goes, I guess. And then I might have to start finding another supplier. That 1 can got enough to do, we got like 2 really good coats on both of them. So I think I'll be okay with that. I got it really thick and like where the seams and stuff are, along with like this is like it folds over here. So I got it really heavy in there just for a little bit of corrosion protection. So we'll let that dry, and then those should be ready to go back on the car. It's Friday now. I haven't got anything done on the car since we undercoated the fenders. I've got the fender braces in the oven right now. I'm gonna preheat them, and then we're gonna powder coat them black. Our fender braces are powder coated. They turned out great. I'm stoked on those. While they were in the oven baking and doing their thing, I went ahead and reassembled the 32 grill. Doesn't that look great? I got the rad cap bolted on as well. I just made a little plate on the backside that holds it in place. It was already tapped for a 5/16 bolt. I don't know if they're all like that or if someone had already done that in the past on this. I also went and got some more webbing. This is to go on the fenders in between the frame rail. Or not on the fenders. It goes in between the fenders and the frame rail right here. Just like how we've got some on the body already. That's just going to continue on through there. So what that means is we are ready to start hanging the front sheet metal again. I'm putting the frame webbing in right now. So this stuff, I got it from Roadster Supply, and it is adhesive on one side, which is super handy. So what I've been doing is just sticking it to the frame, rolling it out, punching my holes where the fender holes need to be, and then sticking it down. I didn't have enough to do both fenders, so this other stuff I got, it's just from the local fabric store at the mall. It's the exact same stuff, just doesn't have the adhesive on the back. So what I might try is I've just got some, this isn't the spray glue that I'd use for upholstery. I think someone just gave me this. I wouldn't trust it for upholstery work, but I think it'll work okay for gluing this down, if we even need it. I might not even need it, because I mean, once it gets sandwiched in there, it's fine. The adhesive is just to hold it while you're assembling everything together. Got both frame rails covered with the webbing. So I started punching the holes with my hole punchers here, but I quickly, well, not quickly, I did the one side, and then on this side, I heated up the end of a center punch with the little blue propane torch and just, and that was way faster. So we are at the point now where I can start putting the front sheet metal and stuff back on. So traditionally the fenders are supposed to go on before the grill, but like I mentioned earlier, I modified the fenders to come on and off without the grill, because in my opinion, it makes more sense for the grill to go on first, because then you don't have to fight getting the grill in between the headlight bars and stuff. Mind you, I guess you could put the headlight bar on after, but I don't know. I like to put the grill on first. If I was the person that designed this car, that's how I would have built it. Grill goes on first, then the fenders, then the headlight bar. So that's the way it is now. Got our headlight wiring down here, which comes out the little grommet holes here. And then just 1/4 inch bolts. I've decided, instead of using like a hex bolt, I've just got a like panhead Phillips stainless bolt because I think it looks nice. Boom. Grill shell's done. So remember when I was undercoating the fenders and I said that by the end of the week I was hoping to have the fenders on? Well, the end of the week came and went, and now it's Tuesday again, and still don't have the fenders on. But we got some time tonight, so we're gonna do it. Got our brackets ready to go. Got our headlight bar pads ready to go. Let's do it. All right, the fenders are finally on. That took way too long to get done. In fact, when I bolted them on, it was Tuesday. It's now Thursday night now, and we're almost there. We still got the headlight bar and the headlights, but I gotta take a quick pause because the LG Speed and Custom reliability run is happening. That'll be this weekend. So I gotta get the Roadster in so that we can get it ready to go, because I just unloaded it out of the trailer today from the Estranged Drags, which was like well over a month ago. So I just want to give it like a quick once over to make sure it's good to go. So we'll take a pause on this and jump back to it in a bit. We still got to deal with the running boards as well, which is going to be, I got a great plan for those. You're going to love it. Before we go, just one quick thing I want to show you. I just went and picked this up. This was sent from Tim MacGyver in Southern California, and he builds custom guitars, and he built and then sent us this super rad Jazzmaster guitar, painted the same green that Shannon's Comet was supposed to go eventually. The interior was painted this color, and the engine bay, we never managed to get the whole car painted, but you know, we still got lots of paint left over. Anyways, Tim built this guitar and sent it up to us. Thank you so much, Tim. This is awesome. Can't wait to play guitar with Lux. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to comment. Let me know what you think of the fenders. I think they look so sinister. I love it. This car looks like if you met this car in a dark alley, it would cut you. It's gonna cut you.